I'll show you how to make your own bicycle repair stand. The tilting mechanism is simply a nut here, so you can adjust the tilting of your bike for convenience and comfort while you're working on it. So to tilt your bike downward or upwards, you simply have to loosen this nut here, and then if you want, if you're satisfied with the position, just tighten it. So if you want to angle it this way, just pull your bike. If you want to angle this way, just pull your bike upwards and then tighten that nut over there. So you can comfortably work on your bottom bracket, your chains, your brakes in a comfortable position. So I already have this square tubing, so it was just a matter of placing supports here. It should be at an angle to support your bike, just like a punching bag design. So instead of a punching bag here, you have your bike here. So it's about 3.5 feet. Also there, 3.5 feet. And then instead of welding, I just bolted the leg support here. Two bolts, two nuts and bolts there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then once I've determined the comfortable height, I just place nuts and bolts here. I placed two because it was pivoting that way, so that it won't move, it won't pivot. I placed two nuts and bolts. Now I'll remove this and then show you how I constructed it. So I'll remove it from here and then show you what I welded. So this one is an ordinary letter L tubing. You can weld it here. You can place a gusset here, but instead of placing a gusset here, I just welded supports here. 1, 2, and then at the back. So it carries my mountain bike, road bike, and other bicycles in the house. By the way, this part is not necessary. I just got this tubing from old water pipes. I no longer remove the coupling, but it's not part of this repair stand. So it can be straight like that, weld it here, make an L bracket like that, then you use nuts and bolts so that it will stay in place. So I'll disassemble it and show you how I made it. So I'll just disassemble it from here and then show you the various parts. The clamping mechanism, just use angle bars, cut it into two, so you'll have the upper clamp and lower clamp. Now preferably you buy the thick one or use the thick one. So you can see the difference. This is a thin one use the thick one so that it will be durable. And then you have to weld it here on some kind of metal, whether it's tubing or square tubing or round tubing, and then weld it here. So this will be your fulcrum or pivot area. So drill holes here and then here so that you can put the bolt. You have to weld this nut over here. Now this is just a piece of pipe. It's loose. It's not welded. So I'll show you the difference. So here, instead of having this design, I just did this because I ran out of square tubing. So I used an angle bar, grinded this portion. If you have plenty of metal parts or spare parts, spare pieces of metal, you weld the angle bar here on a tubular square tube, also here, weld it here, and then this will be your fulcrum or pivot area. So by turning this bolt, this now will open and close to enclose your seat tube here or bicycle frame. So you weld the nut here. Here no need to weld. So okay. So since I did not have plenty of materials at the time, I just made this contraption. So I just welded the nut there, welded two angle bars here as the clamp. So as my fulcrum area, I just drilled the hole there, welded a rod over here so that this can move up and down, and I can move this up and down also so that I can place the frame or seat post here. To tighten it, I just turn this. So again, there is no weld here, just a hole. On the head of the bolt, I just welded a nut, placed. So as handle, I just placed, I welded the nut here, got a piece of rebar, put nuts on both sides, welded them, so that this will now act as the handle. So if I want to tighten this, I just turn it. If I want to loosen it, I just reverse it. So this will enclose the tubing. Now this is the tilting mechanism. So I just welded the nut over here and then welded the head of the bolt here. In between I placed a nut and then inserted the bolt here. So there's a nut here. Okay, there's a nut here. I welded it here, same size. Before putting the bolt inside, I placed a nut in between. So this is the head of the bolt. I welded it here. So I just put it inside. Okay. So imagine your bike is being held by the clamp. So it's being held by the clamp here. So I tighten it, so the bike is now being held, so that you can tilt your bike. Just tilt it that way. To lock it in position, you just tighten this bolt and it will stay in position. If you want to change the tilt of your bike, just loosen this, move it, and then if you want that position, you tighten this one again. So it's simple now. Okay? Instead of tightening by hand, you use a wrench so that your bike will stay in place. And if you want to loosen it because it's tight, you also use a wrench in loosening the bolt here, or the nut here. Okay? Time for coffee. Oh yeah! To protect your bicycle paint, the paint of your frame or seat post, just place old tubing, bicycle tire tubing here, so that when you tighten this, it won't scratch or damage the paint.